Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As you guys seen in the description, today I'll be showing you guys a little bit of my detail van, my setup, a little bit how my mind works, the little setup I try to go here, because I'm sure you guys are all new to this channel. So I'll post a picture of my previous van. I used to have a big Nissan NV200, and I thought it was too much van for me, so I kind of decided to downgrade and maybe end up getting me two of these smaller ones. And so far I'm real happy with what I got into, because it's been a little bit more convenient than anything, because on my other van I used to jump in and jump out, and it kind of put a little bit more work, if you could say, more steps and everything. So having this small one is become a lot more convenient, and the way I have it set up, it's worked out pretty good so far. And it's one of those things, especially when you set up a van, if you do it yourself, you could always just come in here and modify little things here and there just to make it more efficient for you. Because the thing is, you don't want to be jumping around back and forth, taking more steps than you need to when you're out there in a job, because the key is to get in and get out. The faster you do it, the faster you make your money, and more efficient it is, the more cars you could do in a day. So here I'm gonna show you guys my van, and I hope you guys like it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and if I could provide you guys with the answers or any information, I'll be glad to. So let me show you guys the exterior so far, what I got. All right, so here we have my Nissan NV200. It's a 2015. It's a little 4-cylinder. So another thing that I really like about this van is that it does double the gas mileage that my other one would do. Yes, I lost the power. I lost 4 cylinders, so that's a big difference. This thing really doesn't fly, because it's only a 4-cylinder. It's only so much power is behind there, and then hauling water, it really slows you down sometimes. But yeah, I went out and got my decals red. And then another thing I did, I eliminated a lot of the stuff I had, because if you think about it, when you're driving down the road, when was the last time you really sat there and read a business truck or anything? It's one of those things, you're just going where you're going. So I thought it would be a good idea just to make it catchy, and just provide people with what I do: mobile detail service, my number, and then my business name small. That way, that's the last thing they got to worry about. As long as they get my number and call me, that's my mentality, and that's why I went out and got red rims with the black van, because it's definitely one of those things that it catches the eyes. And before, when I had my white van, I wouldn't get anybody looking at me, and now with this thing, I got everybody looking at me. The other day I was in the light, and I had some officers. It was 2 in the patrol, and one of them pointed at me, kind of mentioning to the other guy, like, look at that van. So I mean, if I get pulled over in this, that means I'm doing a good thing, right? Because I'm getting people to turn faces, so that's definitely a plus. And then I haven't put the logo back here, because I did buy this van with a little ding back here. They don't come with backup cameras, so I installed this myself so I could have that. And so I'm sure the previous owner just backed up into something. I mean, these things are kind of hard to see with when you don't have a camera. And I did go out and bought me some of this, I think it's like an electrical metal, and you could just like clamp them down. And I ended up making my own little ladder rack, because I do want to carry a ladder. I'm not liking this ladder for this setup I have. I have another 8-footer that I normally carry on there, but I needed this one today, so I threw it on there, because it's a bigger ladder, and when you do a big RV, you definitely want a nice big ladder so you can get onto the top. But yeah, so far this thing's looking nice and sharp. The red wheels, definitely did it in this thing. So it's definitely getting attention, and I'm happy with what I have so far. So let me start by showing you guys the back, how I have the back set up. All right guys, so here's the back setup. I don't have full towels right now because I am doing laundry. So I normally carry black wheel towels back here, just to clean the wheels, and then the ones I use for the door jambs here. And then these are my all interior towels, all gray. And then I got wax towels and window towels here. I did lose a lot of real estate from the other van, so I kind of had to really set up to where I could have the towels that I really use most of the time. And you know, I don't have any for compounding or anything like that because I don't do compound, you know, buffing cars every day. So if I really do have to do a little job, I'll just use some of these towels. I mean, it's one of those things you want to have some good towels for, you know, buffing off cars, especially when you buff them out, because you don't want to introduce more swirls. So I'll keep those in my shop, and when I do need them, I'll take them out. And I did go 100% electric because I do want to save water. And with the electric pressure washer, I'm definitely going to do that, because I was running a gas one and it was, you know, wasting, I think, 2.5 gallons per minute or something like that, 2.3, one of the two. And I had that 300-gallon tank in my van, so, you know, water wasn't a problem. But now, with my setup here, I could only carry about 80 gallons. So, you know, I definitely went electric, and I ended up getting this Krezel. I think this is the new one, like the 16 something. I'll put it on here because I totally forget about the name. And then it's a 50-foot hose, 1/4. And you know, it does good, it does the job. You know, when I started with a Sunjo pressure washer. I think it was like the 4000 or something like that in the side one, and that thing was a beast. And you know, I really like the feature that it shuts off when you let go of the trigger. But then that one eventually, after 2 years, I think it gave out, and I went to buy another one, and that thing was junk. You know, it's one of those things that they do good when they start with their company, and then after that they just don't care, and they just mass produce them cheaply, so it never worked again. And then I had bought in a Comet pressure washer, but it didn't work out, and you know, so I'd returned that thing back. And then finally now I'm going electric again, and this one has turned out pretty good. It actually holds its power, you know, and it's done good so far. So I do got my Predator inverter generator here, and I have a fan on here just because previously, you know, it has overheated on me and it wouldn't start. So I took the cover off this side and I just put the fan there, and I have it hooked up to power because I ran power from here and to the other side of the van, just so I could have, you know, multiple plug-in. And I do have the electric pressure washer on a switch, that way, you know, I could shut it off. You know, this one does shut off, so it's kind of one of those things that gets annoying because I always got to push the button if I turn it on again. But it ain't such a big deal since it's just right there. But yeah, so far, you know, this is the back of my setup. So this is my pressure washer. You know, this is where I fill up my water buckets, you know, for my washing. And then I have my towels here, my drying towels. I just got a piece of PVC pipe and bend it, painted it black, and screwed it on there, and it's doing good so far. I got this little tray. I actually got to kind of glue it on here because it's magnetized. Throw a little bit of brushes on there. Other than that, you know, it's just pretty much what it is. So basically the side you always use the most is the passenger side of your van, because that's the one you park on the sidewalk. And so my thought was, you know, try to make it as efficient enough to where I could use both doors, because this van has 2 sliding doors. So it has a sliding door for the driver's side and a sliding door for the passenger side, so that's definitely a plus. So here we have my setup. So this is my setup on this side. So let me open the other side. There we go, a little bit more lighting, that way we can see a little bit better. So basically I have this thing set up, you know, to where if I needed to reach one of these spray bottles, I could actually reach it from the other side. I wanted to have that convenience, so if I pull up to a parking lot and I couldn't park on this side, the car on this side, you know, I could park the car on the other side and still be able to grab my spray bottles to take care of the job. Because, you know, that's why I put the pressure washer in the back, because on my previous van I did have it here, and it was kind of a little hassle sometimes, and some weird, you know, when you're parking in a parking spot, the way you pull it out was just a little weird. So I definitely like the fact that it's in the back now. And then so right here, all I have is, you know, my 3 buckets, my wheel bucket, and my 2 wash buckets. I got my vacuum, I got my steamer in there, and then my hose. So, you know, like I said, less real estate, so I had to make it, you know, try to be a little bit more creative. And like I mentioned, you know, I push power up here, so I got power connections up here. I got the wires running through the back. And then if you guys can see, I got my water tanks here. So I got 2 of these. I think they're 46-gallon tanks. that I have, you know, behind that wall. So I kind of made like a little box with 2x4s. I'll show you guys pictures or videos here, and then I'll show you guys also how I hooked up a valve. That way I could, you know, just plug in the hose and let it fill up. Sucks I had to drill this hole to make that big old ball fit in there for the float valve. Let's see if it works. Got to make sure this isn't leaking inside my van. Other than that, it seems like it's working. So another thing I had on the other van was, you know, woodwork. I definitely like woodwork because it's easy to work with, and you know, you can pretty much do anything. So I made these little squares, little slots. That way I could carry a gallon of, you know, the common things I use, which is, you know, foam soap, all-purpose cleaner, degreaser, and then the only chemical guys product that I use is the VRP or whatever that is, the interior conditioner. I actually like that thing because it's water based, so you could dilute it in water and, you know, use it under wheel wells. You know, you could use it as tire shine, or you could use it interior, and it does pretty good. And then I got McGuire's wheel cleaner, and then McGuire's spray wax. And then, like I said, I got, you know, these spray bottles here. And then so far, you know, I got my dirty towel basket here. So, you know, it is small, but I'm trying to make it as efficient as possible. So I'll show you guys on this side. You know, I did put a little full tabletop, if you can say, and then I put these baskets on here so I could put a little bit more stuff. So I got my little Rupes 3-inch here, some compounds, you know, some brushes. You know, another thing is really, you know, great to carry is one of these little kits. So if you guys know, on the Denali's, you got the defroster, and those things are freaking prone to break apart all of the time. I've had multiple of them breaks, so you get this little kit and you just repair them right there inside, and you don't have to worry about, you know, you're gonna owe customer a rear glass. So it's like a little weld for those little things. So that's definitely a must. And then another must, if you guys want to know a little pro tip, Gugon. This thing on some floor mats, it'll work wonders. I'll put a clip on here for a little pro tip. You guys can see these mats, they're horrible. And a little trick I learned, a little bit of Gugon to make these things look brand new. I'll show you guys. Spray them down. You know, this thing is kind of oily, so you definitely want to hit it with some degreaser after this, so you can remove that oily feel. That way your customers won't be slippy on their mat. Let me show you guys. So we're gonna let it sit there for a little bit, agitate it. Check that out, guys. It's like magic. Looks real good. Like I said, you guys want to spray it down with degreaser and wash it off real good. But yeah, other than that, then I got my extractor here. It's like a little 3-gallon. It's a hot water extractor, you know, just in case, you know, I got to pull out some stains. And then I do window tinting too. So, you know, if I'm gonna go out and do a mobile window tinting job, you know, I'll definitely just pull these things out and just put my rolls in here. And then here I carry my gas tank. I've been needing to go out and get some fire extinguishers because that's definitely a must you want to have, especially when you got gas in your van and you know, running a generator, because you just never know, it might catch on fire. And I have wood in there, so you know, it's definitely it's definitely one of those things you want to have just to, you know, call it safe. But yeah guys, here we have it. You know, it's my van, my little setup. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, or if anything, you know, if you guys want any ideas or any suggestions or anything, you know, let me know. Feel free to, you know, ask me any questions. I'm all about, you know, helping people out, because, you know, that's how we strive, you know, helping each other out. And, you know, here we have my little van, and I was glad to share it with you guys. Just like that, I'm gonna end the video here. I appreciate everybody watching. Keep cleaning cars, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.